bitch, nigga.
Hello?
Go to your mom's. I don't want to cross the other.
Huh?
I don't want to cross the other.
What?
Cross the other.
Okay. Okay, this is my yield to rain statistical test. I'm presenting for yield to rain tests on our statistical values. The null and alternative hypothesis. My null hypothesis is increased rainfall does not lead to higher crop yields. There is no significant relationship between rainfall and crop yields. My alternative hypothesis is increased rainfall negatively affects crop yields, leading to lower productivity compared to periods of lower rainfall. My hypothesis is increased rainfall will lead to a higher crop yields due to availability of more water for plant growth, which is what normally happens. How it was carried out. So my family has been farming the Gray Farm South, which is right behind my house right here, for about 110 years. And I took the yield data that my father and my grandfathers took a long time ago, just about 40 years ago. The rain data I obtained was from the summary records we took every year after harvest. I designed this experiment to prove the more rain equals better yield. What went wrong? Some things went wrong when the data was 40 years of data is pretty hard to find when it comes to farming, because after the year is done, I mean, really we don't ever use the data anymore. I mean, I found it, but it was a pretty hard challenge to try to find that. And the only thing I could have changed is probably not choosing these data points for my project. I mean, it was just pretty hard to find the stuff, and I mean, I still got her done, but she was hard. The statistical test I used was the chi-square test. So I chose the chi-square test because there's two different variables that we're trying to compare each other with, and all my values are dependent, and this is the work I put in for the chi-square test. So I have my sum, and then my HO, my H2, and then I divided that, and then I got my 1,451.89. And I did that because it helps determine if there's significant association between two variables, which is rainfall data and average yield data. Statistical conclusion. In conclusion, the two tests both rejected, and there is yield increase when more rain is applied to corn. And by observing, too, with the observational data, that rain actually does help the crops and makes it yield better no matter what. This is the graph I had, so the graph skews to the left, as you can tell. And as you can tell, there's still quite a bit of rain and yield at the same time. So the more rain we had, the more yield you had. I mean, you can tell all the way back in 1983. And you got to remember that back in 1983, they didn't have genetically modified organisms, which had GMO, and they didn't yield as much as the stuff we have today. And then this is the scatter plot chart that I have. It's pretty scattered out all the way through, but I'd say the data points are pretty spot on. And that's it for my project. Thank you very much, and I hope this project passes.